You better get it, Tej. What's up? What's up? What's up, Milwaukee and the world? Welcome to another episode of Saved in the City radio show right here on WGLB 1560 AM. 96.1 FM. Yes, you are locked into the right place at the right time for your Kingdom Solutions, for real world issues, for your hot topics, for your top 5 you doing too much moments of the week, for your word up challenge, and everything in between. We out here, and we're all we got.
Say it.
That's what Steven says. And so, yes, I'm so excited. You know, I'm so excited every Friday to be able to come and chat with the chat with the Saving the City crew, and for you guys to listen in. You know, our WGLB listeners, we're so grateful for you, folks who catch us on Facebook or later on YouTube. Again, you know, who wants to talk to an empty room? So we're so grateful to the folks that listen in. You know, especially now at this level when we're on the come up. Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because to me, that's kind of when it matters most. Like, who was listening? You know, when the millions wasn't listening. You know what I mean? Like, that means a lot to me. So I appreciate it. I see you. I hear you. All of that. I feel you. And so, you know, kind of before we do our crew check-ins, which is one of my favorite parts of the show, we like to kind of give a loose theme that kind of permeates throughout the show. And so the theme that kind of came to mind for me, I'm calling it, or I'm saying, you know, but you can put it in parentheses, it's not lost.
Wow.
It's not lost. It's not all lost is probably what I should say. And you know, it's interesting because this actually came up a while ago. I found something that I thought was lost for a long time. and a few people that's close to me might have thought I was even thinking that they took it, or maybe I thought that they you know, I think Tej, you had told me after I lost it, you was like, I'm not ever helping you to the car again.
Okay.
Because I lost my iPad, y'all, and I had literally counted it out. I was like, it's done, like it's over. And I made peace with it. I was like, oh, okay, that's all right. I only had like 2 more payments left. I only had 2 more payments left. It was what it was. And, you know, I was like, you know, I tried to find a reason why it wasn't a big deal that it was gone. And so I was like, you know, it's all good. And I stopped looking for it. I was good moving forward. There was a part of me initially where I was like, dang, I could have used it for this, or I could have done that. And the other part is just that it was valuable. You know, it was mine. I put money into it. If I'm going to lose it or I'll throw it away, it's going to be because I chose to, not just because it was gone. And so anyhow, I kind of got to the point where I was just in such a place of rest and ease. And I was literally this was during my 21 days of abundance. And what ended up happening, because I was just in that space of just believing God for whatever is for me, for it to manifest, for it to be revealed, for it to show up. And literally, I was reaching for something I kind of feel dumb, honestly, because I was reaching for something in the computer bag that it had been in since November. I didn't realize it. It had been with me. Listen, y'all, it had been with me the whole time.
Wow.
You see me okay. Listen, so there's a few things, and then I'm gonna open it up to the crew because I feel like they feeling me on it. But there was a couple. There was a couple things that I thought I didn't even think about it right away. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, great. And then like the next day, I'm like, wow, you know, how many other things in our lives have we buried or counted out as being done or never found again, or whatever it is? If it's a talent, if it's a gift that you had that you put on the back burner that you said, well, you know what, it's too late for that. That's okay. It's done. Right. It's done. That's lost. Wow. That time is lost. That opportunity is lost. You know, or that's one way to look at it. The other part is that sometimes we think that what we need is somewhere else, and we've had it the whole time. Hey, when I tell you, I've been looking at that iPad and getting the word for like every day. I'm like, now what you gonna say to me? I barely even use it now. But at the same time, I'm just, it's paid off now. Now that I found it, it's paid off. Of course, right. I'm like, okay, well, let's put this thing to use. So, you know, some of the things, you guys, that you think that may have been lost, you actually may have them. They may be closer than you think, is what I should say. And I think that's a good word for today. So let's do some.
Time to show up yet.
Okay. Wow. It'll manifest when you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or when you're not so thirsty.
Oh, you hit my spirit.
Because that's what I was so desperate to find it. I was like, well, oh Lord,
Chill
I don't know.
out.
I mean, I'm back to the station. I'm over there. I'm underneath the car. I'm looking at other people's stuff.
I'm telling you.
Relax.
It's
God
not
got
fun.
it. It's not even you frantic for nothing. Had it the
We do
whole
be.
time.
Yeah.
Let's do crew check-ins based
I-
off that. And just kind of where you are, though, too.
It was something like that stood up, but now I can't remember.
Oh,
the
that's okay. The
technique.
little bubble up. But just, well, how you doing?
I am good. I'm missing that hour. I don't know why I'm missing that
Everybody
hour
is.
so bad. I'm missing that.
See
Ava.
DJ Lee with the head tilt back. It's hilarious.
Ava. Okay. H-O-V-A.
Ooh,
Ava.
Ava.
Yes, I'm missing it. I just didn't know.
That
I've
just took
been
me back to
sleeping
my old
longer
church.
than I'm supposed to be sleeping. It's just been weird. But I'm grateful. God is good.
Okay, can I just say that just took me back? I know that don't have nothing to do with nothing. But when you said that, it took me back to my old church. I'm going to shout it out. Great Faith Progressive
Progressive.
Missionary Baptist Church with Reverend Benjamin L. Neighbors as the
Oh.
pastor. And he used to have a associate pastor that would get up, and every time he would open up with his prayer, the Our Father without in heaven. Our Father, which art in heaven. I had to figure out how I was going to say it. But anyhow, but he would say, Abba Father.
Ava.
Abba. He would say, Abba Father. I said, woo, Abba Father. So that's a thank you. Thank you for bringing that memory back to me. Steven, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. I was thinking about what you were saying. Like, it's something about losing stuff. It's always at the most inconvenient time, man. Like, you don't care about losing car keys when you chilling. But
It's
like,
right.
it's always when you need or you feel you need it. And it's like God detaches us from that need. Like, you can function without it. And I mean, that's me.
That
That's
is
me.
so
it hit
deep.
me like, dog, I do panic quick. Like, oh, rush, why? No. And it's like,
Help,
and you go to the extremes. Like, who was around?
Right.
Exactly.
You know what? She cool, but I
I ain't never even, you know what? Something wasn't right about her. I should have never let T take my bag to the car.
Listen, okay? Somebody, my friends
You
told
should've
me.
You start eyeing people right.
My friends told
Isn't that
me.
crazy?
And
That
that
is
shows
so
us
good.
at the end of
That's
the day,
so
it's like,
good.
oh, there's the mirror. That's what's really in you. Like, oh, wow.
Whoa.
But you know what I'm reminded of too? Not even when like we lose things like figuratively and physically, but when things like are taken from you.
Ooh,
Like
ooh.
And that's honestly what I felt. I remember I literally had a whole, sidebar, I called the police department
Had
and
a whole
reported
police
it stolen.
report, yes.
I have a police report because I was like,
Okay.
and something came up and I was like, I think it said like, your iPad was used last, da 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 da. And I'm like, ooh, somebody used it. Because it was in your bag.
You used it.
I used it.
Somebody used
Go
it.
ahead. I'm just.
No, but like I remember what was this like 2000? I can't remember what year it was, but my car was stolen, and
Jesus.
devastating enough. But this is when I was just getting into graphics, so I had just had. My parents had just bought me a MacBook. You know how expensive those are. In my backpack, I had the MacBook, my iPad, and then like my iPod Touch, all stolen. When I tell you devastation, not devastation. Devastation, TIA at the end. Devastation. But I realized, and I've kind of learned this throughout my life, every time something has been taken from me or when I had to start over from scratch, I always got more than I did
Isn't that
before.
interesting?
Ooh.
Yeah.
And not even like in the sense of physically more.
Yeah.
It's like I learned an experience. I you know what I mean?
Right.
It-
There
I
was
learned
something else.
to, yeah, like that. I was really tied to those things. Like I loved my gadgets. Like that was my life.
That's so good because what it makes me think about, and then we may even go to break a little earlier just so we can stay on track with time since we started a little late. Sorry, listeners. But what I was thinking about though, right? They forgive us. They was like, "Oh, you was on."
No, they're not. You're patiently waiting.
I'm driving. I'm riding somebody else's car. They just turned it on. That's okay. You're going to be looking for us in a minute.
Leave.
But anyway. But no, what? Nah, getting all silly. I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying? Who said the point and it made me laugh? Was it you, T?
When stuff's taken from you.
Ooh, when it's taken. I lost my point
Like
trying
that
to be
thought is
funny.
taken.
Like that thought. Wait. Oh, I think I kind of know what I was going to say. Yeah, so when not even just the taken part, it's just that when, I think it's more to Stephen's point about, or maybe it was you, Tej, where you were talking about how you learn kind of how to get along without it.
Yeah.
Like you said, you was based around your life was around the gadgets, and for me, it was like I was trying to do this and trying to do that. And when it came back to me, I was grateful, but I don't even really use it anymore. Now I'll find some uses for it now. Eventually. But the other part about it was it's not even so much that I don't have any use for it, but it's like I don't have to have that dependency, the stress that goes along with it. And so when I was in that whole 21 Days of Abundance thing, there was a law that came up on one of the days, and it was called the law of detachment.
Oh, wow.
And it is an absolutely amazing concept that everything that you so desire, you allow it up and you let it go. Like, you don't think that. You think if I desire marriage or I desire wealth or I desire that I need to go like crazy for it.
For sure.
I mean, yes, you need to set a plan and yes, you need to do some things, but really the intention you bring up, you say, okay, you release it to God or whatever it is that you believe, and then listen.
And that's why people say things like it'll happen when it's supposed to happen, or it'll happen when you stop trying to make it happen.
It's that thirsty piece. Like, it really is, where you be so desperate for something, and then it'd be like, then you let it go a little bit, you let that thing breathe, and it comes back to you the way it's supposed to.
But you are angry when people bring up the fact that you might be thirsty. Like, at least in my case, that'll tick me off. Like, you don't need it no way. Them comments. You're like, really? Like, that would make you mad. Because it's like,
I even make my own self mad when I think, girl, you being thirsty. Like, I'm going to be mad at my own self.
Right?
Like, well, why?
How dare you?
But the thing is, I think, is thirsty always a bad thing? Not necessarily.
And that's what I was about to say. Why can't I be thirsty? At least I ain't thirsty after somebody.
That means there's something missing. Right. I need to feel it, And so I think that's the problem, is that when we get thirsty, it's not that now I need to fill it with whatever the thing, I need to fill it with desperation.
Right.
I don't need to feel, it's like, okay, I'm thirsty, God. So now we drink from the cup that doesn't run empty, and so that's gonna give you the peace. That's gonna make you settle in it and say, okay, Lord, I can trust you through this.
Right.
That was cool.
It's gonna come back.
It was very good.
That was good.
That's good. Okay, and so that's a wrap. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. We coming back with Uncle Kurt. On FM, it's your girl Iberia and the Saved in the City radio show crew. Yes, it's absolutely going down, and it is time for Hot Topics.
Hot
Get
Topics.
excited.
I like that. There you
Get
go.
it like the Hot Pocket.
Oh, that's cute. That's real cute. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I kind of hate. I kind of hate that Kirk is in the news for cussing out his kid.
You said it so nonchalant.
I just kind of hate it. You know, he's cussing out his kid. So okay, y'all was kind of talking about it off camera too. You know, earlier. So for those people who don't know, Kirk Franklin cussed out his kid. No, I don't even really know all the details behind it. And honestly,
I mean, cussed out like.
Talk about it. Can I be honest? I didn't listen.
You
to
didn't
it.
listen to it? I had to listen to it.
Please tell me.
Before I listened to it, you know, I can appreciate a good tongue lashing because
like he cussed them out.
Yeah, I can't give them out. So when I
mean,
hear
if
it,
you
I
gonna
love
do
to
it.
hear it.
If I'm gonna go to the altar for cussing, I'm gonna cuss.
I'm a cuss. So I thought it was like, you know, a little cuss word. You know, the Saints think HELL is a cuss word. And I mean, it is in a certain context.
I felt in my spirit that it was heavy.
Right. So when I listen to it, I'm like, oh,
is real.
son, you cussing. Like, I feel like when the F word is in there, you cussing down. That's a tongue lashing.
Baby, you cussing down.
You cussing down, and you're angered.
So what?
And
Why was he cussing him out for those people?
So apparently, I
that
listened
don't
to, he was on Tamron Hall this week.
I did see that too.
So apparently, there has been this kind of tension, and they never would really say what caused the tension.
How old is the son?
33. He'll be 33
Baby.
this year.
And Kurt is what, 50 in his 50s?
Yeah. So this is his
I don't know why that
firstborn
matters.
son.
Yeah.
He claims that his mom, the son's mom, and Tammy, which is his wife, and he have a very good relationship.
Yes.
But he's saying that all throughout the years, they've been having counseling for over 20 years and therapy for over 20 years. He said the son has just always been disrespectful. He never said why, but he's saying throughout the more recent years, his disrespect has become more aggressive. When I hear aggressive, I think like physically violent.
Is he? I don't
or
know
just-
why I want to know.
Yeah, I
Is he
heard-
short too? I don't know
He's
why that's
not.
important. He's
And
not.
I think I looked through his Instagram because I'm like, if he knows,
Why does that matter to me? But I just needed that fact.
Right, but I
because
think he's
you.
like a
I'll get
producer
you.
too. He's into music too. But
Okay.
I'm thinking, this is just my theory. I think, you know, because this is the only child that he doesn't, you know, Tammy has her own kid. They have kids together, her and Kirk.
Right.
I think it's probably one of them
Oh.
situations where they all live in the house together and you treat them better than me. And,
That's
you know,
the way he said he felt like
they
that's
get
the way
more.
he
Yeah,
felt.
you know, that's just what I thought based on the situation. And
You
blended
treat-
families.
This is
just
what I
be-
feel like. You treat the whole world better than me.
Yep.
That's you know how you don't.
And you out here
Everybody
acting
uncle,
like-
everybody cousin, everybody
Oh,
whatever.
I get you. Wow.
And you can't even call me. You can't even send me no money. You can't.
Well, according to one of the sisters, like he takes advantage of that. Like
Oh,
he
the
uses
son?
that, for like to get money.
And that's not
he's-
always
over
the
years, he's
situation.
been-
Yeah,
For-
because
over
I'm
the
sure
years, he's
Kirk
been
wants
giving money
to
and
have a
stuff.
relationship with her,
Yeah.
and that can make you as a parent. I don't know. I'm not a parent, but I can imagine that can make you as a parent would be like, I don't want nothing to do with you then. If you only want me for this, that, and the other, and I want a genuine relationship with you. He said if on the Tamron Hall show that they've gone 1 to 2 years without even speaking.
Wow.
Wow.
So I think the relationship is strained because the son kind of probably just wants to use him for money.
That's what it sounded like to me. And over the
Ouch.
years, it worked, and
Yeah.
now it reached a boiling point. And he recorded
Wow.
it and threatened to like,
Yeah,
if there's more
that's-
recording.
And I
Say
think
what
it's-
you said off camera, because you was asking T like, would you know?
oh, well,
Yeah, would you actually
would
share it?
you-
Yeah.
If you caught your parent in that moment, would you show people the recording, or would you put it on social media?
It depends on the situation. If I felt like, because I think the son feels like I'm going to show the world you a hypocrite, this, that, and the other. When in actuality, I feel like he provoked that response from him, and Kirk probably wasn't in the wrong. I think he really is genuinely trying to build a relationship with him, and I think he's bucking against him because he just wants some money. But I feel like
I don't
I
know.
feel like
I mean,
if
being
I was in a
honest, being
situation
honest.
with my parent and I felt like my mom was really portraying a life, or my dad was portraying a life,
Right.
and he was not that at all to me, my family, anybody, yes, I would. I would post it. Not saying that it's right or wrong.
But you are of this
New.
Yeah.
like, but
because
if
you're
you
not
go
finna
back
play
my
me.
age,
You're not finna play me.
when you go back, I wouldn't even.
They
think,
don't do
I wouldn't
that.
Dare.
Yeah,
I
no.
wouldn't dare.
What did Destiny's Child say? I'm not gonna blast you on the internet.
No, you cover.
Because my mama taught me better
than that. Okay, right. but that's because we're taught to cover our not cover
honor. Yeah,
honor your parent. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. And even I even think biblically too when you start thinking about Noah and his drunkenness.
Interesting point.
There was where he was taken advantage of, right?
Yeah.
By some of it, right? So that's not really new,
absolutely.
But that's an opportunity to cover your parent, and even though and honor them, I guess, cover them with honor, if you will. But I do get it, where you get to the point where it's like, nah, you so big and bad for everybody. Not big and bad, but everybody else sees you as just being this upstanding dude. Let me show
everybody uncle.
Yeah,
but you can't be my daddy.
Ooh, wow.
But that sounds super emotional to me. You know what I mean? And so for me, it doesn't sound like, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, because it is an emotional thing. They might need to have an ugly cry to
right. Exactly.
To this day, I can't watch that. I can't watch.
But it was something. It was something. Something that T said though, because I was thinking about why I keep losing my points today? But it was something
touch her, Lord.
Lord, touch me, Jesus, because the ugly cry threw me off. But I was just.
Now I got it in my head.
Yes, now all I see is this dude with the teeth and the hole in the chin. Anyway, I'm wishing for the best.
I've learned though over the years when people react to not always take it as a reaction, although it is a reaction, but to see like, why did they do that? There's a reason why they did that.
And that's what, thank you. That's because you're in my heart and soul. But that's what I'm saying. That's where I wanted to go. Thank you. Because it was the hurt people thing. And so, yes, if all he wants is money, is that really all he wants? Right. You know what I mean? Yes, right. you get to, because I'm telling you, we get to a point where we be good and content with what we have decided to settle in,
But I'm going to take the money because it's been 30 years and I ain't had the relationship. So give me some money.
Period. So we'll take that. So, but really, if we could work to get to the root of the thing, then they probably that wouldn't even be the issue. But again, we don't know.
I hope it work out. I mean, I think can he go on Oprah Masterclass? Or I think he needs to do Bishop T.D. Jakes or something, or Yana Fix My Life. I want to know more about it.
But the question, does it impact his witness to people? Like,
but what was this comeback thing, though? Wasn't it something else that just came up?
His apology?
He apologized and said he was wrong. Like, he said he was wrong.
I just feel like and I know that's their business, but that's a lot of families. That's nothing new.
Wow. Right.
I want them to kind of be on display and work through it because other people really don't know what to do. They fight, cuss. That's normal stuff. This is light work compared to some other families.
Light work.
They throw blows, like real life.
Wow. Yeah, true.
You know what? And cancel culture tried to silence Kurt. We was like,
nah. We're not silencing Kurt over.
He ain't the one.
I'm gonna put my neck on you. Now, if he was up at McDonald's saying that to a stranger,
talking to his 30-whatever-year-old son, like. Let's do better.
I mean, I get it. I mean, because if you like biblically, James 3, should bitter and sweet water come out the same?
That's good.
I get that.
That's good.
And then it's like blessings and cursings out of the same mouth. This shouldn't be named among you. I get that. Mm-hmm. But everybody's on this different path in terms of like what does arrived look like? You know what I'm saying? Like name somebody who you know is like the one.
Exactly.
And so it's like. I see where people were upset with him, and I get it. But I think as Christians in this world, like, we've lost our authority to judge like that. We just lost it. Because, every week we do the doing too much, and there's people tripping.
And it's like doing real crazy stuff.
Can you really check other people? Like, can you?
Man.
I mean, everybody wants grace until it's your turn.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
That.
Like, give me grace, but I can't extend on.
There you go.
Wow. Come on.
Wow.
If we record it.
Ouch.
Y'all conversations, it's like gracism. That's how my pastor does.
That is so good.
Racism.
All right,
like Patnet.
Like
hashtag racism.
It's for me, but you can't get no. I'm a red line you out of this.
Wow.
Like I'm gonna cut you out. I'm gonna put up some policies and rules in my life to cut you out of my grace.
But we always judge it based on something that we're not doing.
Right.
Like, we may have something, But you're doing it's like
I'm not
that's the way
doing
we
that.
gauge. Just like at least,
no grace for that.
Like, oh, you fornicating? She ain't married though. So it's like,
yeah. Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good. I mean, oh my goodness.
Listen, I'm dealing with my own stuff. I just be like, hey,
Right.
touch him, Lord. Touch Brother Kirk, Lord.
I guess back to
There you
Stephen,
go.
but back to Stephen's point though, that the bitters are sweet and all of that stuff, because I think it's like T said, it was the heaviness of the curse
It was
and
strong tongue
how
lashing.
flowing it was, which means that this don't just come. This ain't the first time this done flowed out so easy. That's the part where it's
There you
like.
go. There you go.
I feel
I
like
agree.
it was, hey, I come from a strong
But you
family
said
of
you come
tongue
from a
lashing.
cussing family though. That's different.
But I feel
So
what
even
you're
if I
saying.
ain't cussed in 20 years, if the right situation happened, I'm
Yo,
gonna
if
put
the
that
right
thing
person say,
together.
"Doop,
Listen, I'm gonna put that thing together so good, you're gonna thought it was a sailor, child. You think?
Oh, that's good. But oh my goodness,
old
we can
Jerry
leave.
Springer
Listen,
Listen.
that's so good. We can definitely leave that particular hot topic on gracism, because that is
dude, you need
that's
to,
woo,
you
that's
need to do something
fire.
on that one, man.
Baby, I need to think on that again.
Gracism.
Yes, that's
Woo.
amazing.
Make a
Grammys.
t-shirt.
Let's move. I think Kirk has won some Grammys in his life, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might have won something this year.
He
he
probably did. Holding down the whole fort. So Grammys, there's so many. Well, there's a couple different. We could talk Beyonce and Meg Thee Stallion. I know the church folks like, why?
Why?
But because if we're thinking about, okay, this is Women History Month, right? And so Beyonce won, I think it's like the most Grammys. She tied with, you know who? You remember
Quincy.
who?
Might be Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, right.
Oh my goodness.
That's huge, and
Because
because
I mean,
Quincy.
he comes from movies, songs.
Right.
He's been decorated for
He had to go to
a
touch
million
for
other
like
things.
2 decades.
Yeah.
Like 70s and
Yeah.
80s.
So for her to do that in half the span of time,
Good
I
point.
think
Good
it's I
point.
think it's
Wow.
really amazing for her, and so it's like, how can Beyonce level up, and then she does,
and what's crazy is when somebody put up a status and said, "Y'all, I just thought about it. We only see Beyonce when she making history. Like, you know what I mean? She only pop out when she's about to do something
Baby, that's
major,
how I feel. That's
and
where
she
I'm
go
gonna
back
be.
into her life.
Yes,
Like,
I love that.
I'm not a fan, and I had to post it. I was like, you got to give credit where credit is due. It's
Yeah.
like,
You didn't have to
doing it.
say we're not a fan, but that's
not-
cool.
I'm not.
Right?
And
Because
you
I
can
feel
exit
like-
stage left. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I love her speech though because I think the Grammy that did it was for the song Black Parade, which was she said she made to celebrate Black people during 2020. This was when
Yeah.
the riots and the protesting was happening, and we were just Black people was sick and tired. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
And she said that artists, she feels like our duty as artists is to reflect the times.
It's
She
true.
said that's what she wanted to do last
And that's
year
what
with
she
the song.
does.
And the song is, people might have their own reservations about it, but it's just, ooh, it make you just proud to be Black.
Yes. I love Beyonce.
And I think that was along with Black is King. And then, her daughter was the first child to win a Grammy, the youngest person ever to win a Grammy.
But why?
Brown skinned girls.
She wrote that?
She sings at the end of it.
She won it for that. Okay, praise God.
Well, the song got it. So you know how stuff go. Like if I make an album and I feature you on
then
it,
everybody
you
was
get a Grammy.
because I remember the little piece that she sang at the end.
Child, she gets a Grammy.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So
making
let's. Well, yes. Come on. We'll go ahead, Blue. Okay. So listen. So because we had to give the worldly folk the acknowledgement, but this is kind of the cool opportunity. Being a faith-based show that we can really give honor where the Christian music comes into play, and so you don't always hear that across the radio
Right,
airwaves.
right.
And so, best contemporary Christian music performance and song was "There Was Jesus" by Zach Williams and Dolly Parton. Okay, wait a
What
minute.
combo.
Did Dolly decide she wanted to slip on into Christian music? But I get it, country and Christian.
Tell a story. Testify.
Testify, okay? Best Roots Gospel Album was Celebrating Fisk, and that was by the Fisk Jubilee Singers. Best Gospel Performance Song was Moving On
Yay.
by Jonathan McReynolds and Molly
right,
Music,
all
two of
right.
my absolute favorites. Best Contemporary Christian Music Album was Jesus is King by Kanye West.
I got
He
reservations.
wins.
I got
He wins
issues.
whenever he has. Speaking of golden touch, yeah,
I have
he's
issues.
ranked the
Not
best.
necessarily
Go.
about that, but
Yeah.
just
Have
with
you
the
listened to
Grammys.
the album?
I love the album.
I
I'm gonna be
haven't heard
honest.
it.
I love the
I
album.
have to admit,
But
Well,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like crossover artists always get the upper hand. So when you think about people
yeah.
who've committed their lives to gospel music, there should be categories that celebrate them. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be more specific.
That's
in
why
the
we have Stellar
categories.
Awards.
Yeah, but then you think about it's a Stellar, it's cute, but I really want a Grammy. When
Right.
you think about the category, if you put a Kanye West in the category with them people, singing gospel all their life. He gonna win because he has an audience that's bigger than.
Yeah.
So he needs to be in a different category. And I just feel like that. Because the same thing with PJ Morton. He's a crossover artist.
Yes.
Not saying that he didn't have
he got best gospel album.
Yeah.
Gospel according to PJ.
And it was like Kiera on there who actually knocked Kanye West out of the top #1 gospel album when she dropped her stuff. His stuff was at the top for how many ever weeks.
Yeah.
And she had a really good album,
Yeah,
but
the whole
she
season.
didn't win.
It's a thing, it's a thing when you think, and this is why people will choose secular music, in terms of like as a career over gospel, because you don't always get the same notoriety and in the way that the world sees as being successful, but
And it's not about the awards, but it'd be nice to get a Grammy.
yeah, it'd be
Like
nice.
you said, but in Kanye's case, the fact that it's reversed because it's like in the same week now he's considered the richest black man in the country, and it's like wow.
I just say what profits a man. Okay.
Oh.
And that's what that's what it comes down to. So I mean, we celebrate them, but I'm never gonna. At least that's my prayer, that I never get to the point where I'm like, well, dang, they got it better. Like, no.
Okay, because he's going through a divorce this week. It's been final.
It is. You're right.
Why do I slightly feel happy for Kim, even though I know people say that?
I'm so happy for Kanye. Don't get me started.
That's what I say. People feel like
Happy.
I
well,
think
he
his
said
mental
Bruce.
health can
He
get
said
better.
he said Bruce Jenner was one of his idols. So
Whoa.
See, just
really?
help him, Lord. Help him.
he's-
Y'all know it sounds crazy to pray for celebrities, but I be praying for Kanye.
it do not sound
No,
crazy
no,
because
that's
that's
really
a
good.
way.
Because people see them as like
They're
so
still
far away.
human
Yeah.
beings.
That's it.
That need half the time you need more prayer than we do.
Than anybody on the
Like
earth.
seriously, but like they got everything. No, again, what prophets of man. If they don't
you
have
go.
peace, their soul, they on some other stuff that
Because in the
yes.
same breath, you ain't got the answer.
Okay.
Wow.
Houseway.
Okay.
Love me some Kanye.
Oh,
We
my
should have him on the
goodness.
show.
Oh my goodness.
I stopped loving Kanye. Well, I still love him with the love of the Lord, but I stopped loving him like that after the Dropout album, whatever, or Jesus Walks or whatever.
No, it was probably the Devil album. That's the one you think about. He had the upside down stuff.
I
True
think
stuff.
like everything changed when his mama died. So.
Yeah.
True.
absolutely.
I agree.
But yeah, so oh my goodness, thinking about like just talk shows and that time, something you said that made me think about talk shows. So Sharon Osbourne, are you guys
I kept
familiar?
seeing the headline.
I know
think
her. I didn't know
saw
what
a
happened.
clip.
Though.
So
She basically said something wasn't racist, right? Go ahead.
yeah.
yeah.
So Sharon, I wish I could play. Ooh, what's her name? But she always has great commentary. Like instead of saying clap back, sometimes I call it black back or whatever. And so what is Amanda Seales? She always
I
has
love her.
great commentary on stuff like this. Wish
And
I
then
could
she
play
went
it.
to school for like.
I may pull it up. She's
African culture.
amazing.
She's amazing.
People don't like her, but I
was just
love
gonna say,
her.
she's
I
one of those,
love.
It's polar. Either people hate her or they love her.
I'm definitely on the side
I
of
haven't made up my
Amanda
mind.
Seales.
And she gonna
But-
stand on what she believes anyway.
That's why I
she
love her.
left the real.
I don't even always like what she has to say. I love people who just stand strong in their truth, like what they really, really believe. Like, and she ain't.
'Cause
She
it
ain't
takes a
pulling.
lot. It takes a
Yeah,
lot.
she ain't moving. But anyway, so Sharon Osbourne is I think let me think about what their show is. I think it's called The Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So there was something that came up, and so Sharon had Pierce.
Piers Morgan.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. So Pierce Morgan and Sharon Osbourne are really good
Really good
friends,
friends,
right?
right.
So Sharon Osbourne is one of the hosts of The Talk, but we also know Sharon Osbourne from being the wife of Ozzy Osbourne.
Reality show and all
Right,
that.
and
Dark.
they had their reality show that was really popular, Kelly and all of the their children and stuff, and so she's British, and I don't know why that matters. I think it
Because
does.
her and Piers Morgan are British.
Right. Okay. And so
And he's
anyhow,
over in UK. He's a talk show host over in
right.
UK.
Oh, and so I think he has something to say about
About
the
the
royal
royal
family.
family.
This
That
is why
incident.
it matters.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I was listening to something. Okay. And so anyway, Sharon downplayed what he had to say and was just like, this is my friend, and really was kind of like just standing with him in the sense of not standing with him in terms of what he said, but like, that's my boy.
Yep.
But at the same time, if your
Girl.
boy, like
If your boy is wrong, then you're
if he's wrong, he's wrong. And what happened was within the show. They were talking about it on air, and she got so flustered, and she played the victim card so hard. She literally. And then when Cheryl had words to say back to her, she was like, "Now don't you start crying. Don't start doing this. Don't start doing that." And so when Cheryl started to make her point as to her, just expressing herself and what she felt about what Pierce said, she kept cutting her off. And then she kept saying, "How can I be racist?" And she said, "You're trying to make me out to be racist." And so
we're just trying to make everybody see the truth, child.
But the privilege, even in that conversation,
that's the part.
Showed it.
Like, that's the part that
and
I forget. I think it was Amanda Seals that was like, "You are literally denying Cheryl, her tears,
experience,
her experience, her feeling because you
feel like it's wrong."
No, it makes me feel guilty. Yeah. So hold that in.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah,
but that's it. And so
don't express yourself.
And so, and that was the big thing because Cheryl was like, I'm just trying to have, right. Cheryl is like, I'm just trying to have a conversation with someone that I see as my friend, like talking to Sharon, and she wouldn't hear. And then she came back with the apology.
Of course. As
they all come back with the apology, and she was just saying that, she didn't mean, she just lost it, because the idea that anybody would ever consider her to be racist, doesn't make sense. How can I be racist? How could I ever be racist?
When Nick Cannon says something like this, he loses everything. You know what I mean? But she's going to be right up there smiling with that red hair up the next week.
And I can't.
With no question, right?
Yeah, just easily.
So speaking of... So speaking of just living in America, child, okay? Because this is what it is. And that was the other thing that Amanda said, something too about, how, we try to make it seem like racism is only an American thing, and it's not, right? It's in other countries too, but back to America. So this whole hate crimes on Asian people.
Hate crimes.
Yeah. So, any thoughts on that, or what do you guys know about it, or you're not aware?
No, it's come to a point, like you said, it's not just our race or what. It's white terrorism, and people are scared to say that phrase. It's white terrorism.
That's exactly what it is.
And it's like we say, Asian love and black love, and it's like, well, that too, but call the other part what it is. Like,
because we wouldn't have to do all that if we just say, hey,
right.
This is an issue, and let's deal with that.
Like, our country has a history of always bashing the result. It's like,
wow.
Why are you rioting? Oh, why are you mad? Oh, and it's like, no. Let's call terrorism what it is. And so I think we need to push
systemic
that.
Racism,
Hold them to that. No. And then the fact that the kid gets to say, I had a bad day. Like, the person that did it, that killed the Asian people.
No, the fact that he went on a tour.
But no, say it. Believe it or not, there'll be some people who don't know, so kind of give them a little bit of the story.
Well, apparently, this was a weird week, too. People just was really crime. Crime was really weird. I mean, even Oconomowoc man just opened fire up at the Kroger place and just killed folks.
And I can't.
But, so apparently this man travels to 3 different spas in Atlanta in Targets. I think
Asian
it was killed about maybe 6, but he maybe shot 8.
Yep, correct.
Asian women. He went to 3 different shops, and this was throughout 3 different cities. It wasn't even all in the same town.
Right.
Of course, he was arrested, not killed. I'm not saying they should have killed him, but if this was us, we'd have been killed.
But the excuses he was able to give, I have a sex addiction, number 1.
Oh, I heard that.
I knew it was coming. I didn't
and
hear
number
it.
2 is I had a bad day. And I'm like...
Sick. But when we do it, it'd be up on the news.
I wish I
He
could
slapped a
say I
man
had
in
a
kindergarten, and he's always had a troubling, violent past. But when white folks do it, he's always struggled with mental health. He's been a troubled child.
They gonna take care of their people.
Listen, I'm surprised he ain't had no Burger King on the way to the jailhouse. I'm over it, y'all. Even when I put it up on our page, I put white terrorists, okay? Because there ain't no other news outlets gonna say it.
I don't care.
So we're gonna say it.
And then the joke is they can have the same appearance. Like I remember in the early 2000s, if you had a long beard, Muslims and their beards, but this dude had a long beard. A long, scraggly, shaggy dude.
I didn't even see. I'm surprised we seen a picture of him.
Okay.
Man.
Because the other thing too, for some people who don't know, is like, well, then why are they targeting Asian people? And it's because of Corona.
Right.
So people are still
because Trump has led people to believe that this is the Kung Flu virus. So what he Kung Flu? He said that this is the China virus. But I'm just in there. People, not even like they're killing Asians. People are literally. I've seen videos. People are walking up to Asian people and like punching them in the face.
That is just sick.
It's stupid. Why am I laughing? It's not funny.
Because it just seemed
because
like...
I'm be like, they ain't never tried that with us. Do they try that with us? Walk up to me and punch me because you hate me. I wish you would.
No, they'll just shoot you.
Yeah,
because they can't, because they too scared to punch. They're not going to just punch. They're not going to just go ahead. You know, they going to shoot you.
But I mean, come on now. They be knowing karate and stuff. Not all of them. I'm sorry. It's such a stereotypical thing to say.
Cut the video.
Cut.
I'm sorry. I sound like Trump.
Put up the look.
You never know.
We live.
We are absolutely live. Sorry, Asian friends. My goodness. But no, seriously. But honestly, like this is how so detached that I have been, and I'm sure there are other people that can relate because it's overload with stuff. I literally saw this post. The first time I really saw this post and it stood out to me was on Tony Baker's page. So he's another. So you guys will hear me usually say Tony Baker or Andrew Caldwell. I watch them every night. Tony Baker is one of my favorites too. And so I feel bad for Tony. This is way left, but Anita Baker blocked him from
why?
From her what you call it?
Because they had the same last name. He claimed that
he can't figure it out, and he is so hurt by it. I don't know if y'all ever seen the little video that went viral of the little boy that was getting interviewed before he went into school. It's so cute, and
he bust out crying.
Yes, and Tony Baker put it up and said that was him when people keep asking him why Anita Baker blocked him from Instagram, and so he has it where they're saying, did you know that Anita Baker blocked you from Instagram? And he's like, yes. He was like, does it matter to you? And he's like, no.
And he bust out crying.
It's so adorable and hilarious.
So this is why Kev on stage put up and said, you're not the only one being blocked by a singer. Because I think Janae Aiko blocked him for whatever.
Because Kevin won't let it die, and Kevin keep hurting his feelings. But anyway, I didn't mean to get off the Asian people. This is how it happens in America. And we end up doing everything else, and Asian people are getting busted in the face. Okay? Right. So back to what I did on Tony Baker's page. I saw I guess hate crimes against Asian people, that's racism too or whatever. And so what I was talking about was just being so detached from it because it's overload from stuff. And so I know there's other people, because I was like, well, why they hitting them? I wasn't even thinking about Corona, and
so
everything
dumb.
else. It is.
The same thing with the 9/11 thing. Like, after that happened, people just started
coming for Indian people.
Yeah, this is dumb.
That's just, bless the people. I don't know, Father. I did want, before we go to break, because Amanda Seales, I just love her.
Yes,
so, okay, we just go back to the Sharon Osbourne. So we're going to go back. So we are praising, come on. We are praying for the Asian community, all jokes aside.
Yeah,
and just that, some things be rectified and that people just wake up and realize that I am not your problem. My brother is not my problem. Yes. The person next to me is not my problem. Whatever the issue
what you're dealing with is on the inside.
Deal
That's
with
the
yourself.
problem.
It is such an ugly place to be. But anyway, back to Sharon. Okay. So Kevin Frazier apparently tagged Amanda Seales. Kevin Frazier is an interviewer, a well-known interviewer, a black man, and tagged Amanda Seales in this post where he is interviewing Sharon, and Sharon is giving her apology. And Amanda's like, why did you tag me? And basically what her irritation is because here we go now. Here's an African-American man that is now saying, he tagged her, he tagged Cheryl Underwood and someone else. Like, look, see, she's being nice.
No, child. The thing is,
the allegations that are taking place, and decided in his caption when he posted on Instagram to tag myself, Holly Robinson Pete,
hopefully she don't
Cheryl Underwood,
hopefully she don't
in an effort to have a
kumbaya
teaching moment for this trash-ass woman who doesn't even feel like she needs to abide by the basic laws of civility, let alone in a professional setting. And I'm wondering why
I like
feel
that.
the need to
Side note.
lay their coat down across troubled waters to help these white folks who don't give a fuck about
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yo.
All right. Whoa.
We got 60 seconds. We can cut it
Okay.
out.
Whoa. Okay. Yes. And so. Okay.
Y'all listen to Kirk. Y'all be fine. Let's see.
That is, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't really watch this all the way through to see. But anyway, she has some amazing commentary because the other part of it goes beyond just the Cheryl and Sharon commentary. Then it kind of goes into our community where it kind of brings you back to the point of why do we then have to play protector of the people?
You were wrong.
That if you're wrong, you're wrong. And so apologies to the WGOB audience. If anybody heard that slip, we didn't. Sorry. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
That might put us on the map.
Oh, my goodness. But anyhow, you guys, that has been your Hot Topics while. So we praying for Uncle Kirk, and now I guess we praying for Amanda Seals too and her F-bombs. Okay, shout out to again all of those who won the Grammys this past week. It really was an amazing show. And again, I really do hope for the best, even though we're coming for Sharon Osbourne. I really hope that we can grow as a people and not have to hide behind just these
Old
these
thoughts
these old thoughts. Just hear each other out. That's all you
and
got to
what's-
do.
what
It
I'm
doesn't
scared
mean
of is
you're
she's
racist.
so old that I don't think she's just gonna get it.
Yeah, it may be one of
And
those.
I hope she does before she die. And I don't mean like she's about to die soon, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just so old that they just don't be getting it.
Yeah,
You
they
can
don't
try
want.
and
The thing
try.
is, they just don't want to.
I was just gonna say, some people they protest this too much.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she kept saying, "I'm not racist." What do you mean racist? It's like,
How can I be
Yeah,
racist?
it's like, come on.
Anybody.
Come
like,
on.
come on. Now, don't say how.
But you said
Like,
because I'm sitting up on the stage with four other black women.
I hate
just
that
can't
because
be
that's what
racist?
you want to say. I got friends and my daughter
Yeah,
has
she wanted-
friends.
she
and
wanted- she wanted to
everybody
go
want to
there.
say that,
my best friend is black.
Oh my goodness!
There
And
you
at the
go.
end of the day, even
There you go.
beyond our own kind of plight as African American people, we're praying for the Asian community and really anyone who is a
Yes.
target of any hate crime. Let's just do better. Let's
Yes,
just do
please,
better.
Lord.
Well, this has been your Hot Topics. Oh my God, and it has been hot. And we'll be right back after this.
Do you got that? I got that by Anthony Brown and Group Therapy. Love, love, love them. Well, we are back. You are locked into Saved and the City, MKE, the Christian Talk Show Radio show.
Yes,
We are in the
emphasize
place
that,
to
'cause
be.
people felt like they was on
Okay,
someplace else.
yes. We had a little Kirk situation, but we're good. We are saved, and God is with us.
Yes, he is.
All right, it's time for our church announcements. We are glad you are here with us on 1560 and on Facebook Live and everything else. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
It is still March, and we're still celebrating March Madness and everything else going on in March.
Yeah.
Another awesome event, week 3 of the Slay Yourself Authors Edition is Sheila Lee. Make sure you tune in on March 21st for that. Awesome black authors, women authors during Women's History Month, so why not? Next week is Bridget Rhyming and her book, so make sure you check that out. Looking for something fun to do with the kiddos or just something fun to do on a date night? There is a free auto show happening, International Auto Show. It's in West Allis. And it's absolutely free. It's for 7 hours. You can pop in, pop out. So check that out. We'll have that up for you. Join the Alternative Conversation Self-Work. I love Marquesa and I love Jamila. So check this out. Awesome women of God doing some amazing things in the community. Self-Work, March 28th. A conversation about self-work. Amen. A lot of us need some work on self.
Okay.
Volunteers needed for food pantry. We are the third week of every month where they're doing a food pantry, Greater New Birth. They're serving from 7 a.m. to noon every third Saturday. So if you're looking for, if you're a college student, you need some credits, some volunteer credits, or if you're just looking for an opportunity to give back, awesome church doing an awesome thing in community. They do it every third Saturday. Volunteer help such as food sorters, baggers, line distribution, and cleanup. And it's at Greater New Birth Family Life Center. If you're interested, just show up, baby. Just show up. Royale Events, March Madness game nights. You can get you some games, some prizes, some foods, drinks if you're just looking for something to do. $15 in advance, $20 at the door. But you have to RSVP at the number listed below. So make sure you check that up. It's at 2125 West North Avenue from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Another thing going on, which is awesome, NAACP Ozaukee County is hosting Women in the NAACP presents Pastor Pamela Hines, co-pastor of Christian Faith Fellowship Church, CEO of Perfect Peace, touch Lord and touch now, 2020 Milwaukee Business Journal Woman of Influence, and 5-time best-selling author. So make sure you tune in for that. Registration is required. It is March 22nd at 6 p.m. Love it, love it, love it. Last but not least, actually it's not last, but Entrepreneur pop-up shop networking event. We told you about it, but it is happening this weekend at 2 p.m. Raffles, prizes, and more. If you're a woman and you want to connect with some other women entrepreneurs, this will be a great event for you. It's at 838 South 1st Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think I've been to this place. It's a really nice little thing that they have. It's like a workspace. Event space. You could rent a desk if you want to,
nice.
and it's like all women businesses in there. It's like a esthetician in there, like a masseuse, a little hairstylist. It's nice. So yeah, check that out. Awesome stuff going on here. And the last announcement, WGLB is having their 2021 scholarship in memory of Joel J. Kinlow. Is that what it says?
Yes.
That cursive is hard for me to read. Apply. You have to have a GPA minimum of 2.3, I think, or is that 2.5?
Let's say 5. I need y'all to
2.5. Just level up. Just do it in Jesus' name. You have to be in the Milwaukee County area or surrounding high school. A few other requirements that we'll put up for you to apply. But hey, why not get some free money in Jesus' name for you to continue your education. But that's all we have today on church announcements. Remember, you can send in any community event or church announcement for us to announce on air for free. You can send that announcement to savedandthecitymke@gmail.com. Once again, savedandthecitymke@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yes, and for you.
Yeah, right? Are we going to another break?
We are going to go to another break. Oh, actually, no. No.
No.
Oh no.
Man,
Because just in time, I'm so excited. Actually, our featured guest, we were kind of waiting for her to chime in or to call in, and now I see that she is there, and so I'm so excited to be able to talk to the amazing Sharon Ann. Let's get her on before we lose her, okay? And so I'm so excited to be able to talk to the amazing Sharon Ann. What we're doing is we're celebrating and highlighting amazing women just throughout this Women's History Month. We, just celebrated International Women's Day, and so I just happen to know so many amazing sisters. I said, let me make some phone calls and see what we could do. And so I'm beyond elated and grateful and honored to have the amazing singer, songwriter, producer, musician extraordinaire, fashionista. I mean, all of the things, okay? And she's super cute. Miss Sharon Ann. Are you there with us, Sharon?
I am.
You like, whoa, I just called in and then
What did I just get into?
baby, we
Introducing.
right. It's all you. It's all you, boo. Yes, we are all the way on the radio right now. And so glad you could join us. So that was just a few accolades. But why don't you say hello to the people of Milwaukee and abroad, those that are listening around the world.
Hello, hometown, Milltown.
Okay.
And to everyone that's listening from your various areas, county, city, states, I am actually the one that's honored to be considered, want to be interviewed. Those were very kind words. I am very humbled. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Peace.
Okay. And one of the things that I love about you, Sharon, is that for as long as I've known you, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember? Like, we go way back. Let's go back in the day. We tried to do a girl band, and took like we was like I think it was like off of 40 something in Lisbon. I don't know. We did a thing, and so just to see where we were then, and just all of your growth and just expansion since then. It's just been amazing to watch, and you've always remained humble, approachable, tangible, and I love that about you. So for those people who don't know all that you do, other than what I just shared with the people, take them on a little bit of a journey of kind of where you started and kind of what brought you to where you are today.
All right. Well, I know this may sound cliche, anyways. I started singing when I was just a child.
Okay.
Very interested in music. Would sing all the commercials. Anything that I could think of, I started there. And then the ministry, I am a PK, that started in 97, and I think that's when the
Pastor Thornton
here for musicianship. My parents are Pastor Greg and Pastor Joyce Thornton of Committed to Christ.
Amazing.
International Ministry. And so, amen, they're wonderful leaders. Been serving them since 97.
Okay.
And we're still here, just relocated in the Arlington, Texas area. But nevertheless, the musicianship started about 8 years old. Around the age of 13 is when I wrote my first song. And then I started traveling alongside my mom when she would go various places to minister. And she was kind of pushing me out there to sing. Contrary to what people may believe, I just did not want to be the person that was just pushed out in front. I enjoyed background singing, and I still do.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, she felt like there was something more in me, so she wanted to push me more to come out of the background to be in the forefront. It took a while, but nevertheless, that started when I was 13. About 16, I became one of the worship leaders at the church, and I still kept writing. And then opportunities around the Milwaukee area presented itself, where I was able to sing with some wonderful singers backing up amazing artists. And that just became the thing for me.
Yeah.
Before relocating to Dallas in 2015 and 2014, I had a concert. I told myself before I moved, I wanted to just put an EP together.
Yeah.
And I was able to accomplish that. was able to get some wonderful people, including an amazing artist. We all know him as Marcus McFarland. He was there, and he shared his ministry. I mean, just so many talented people, and Ty came to moderate. And
that's how that happened. That's how the connection happened. Okay.
Yeah, actually, let me tell you how that connection happened with Ty. So it's one of those instances where I know I was thinking, I backed him up. It was something that Christian Faith was having
I
on
was
their
there.
parking
It was
lot.
outside. Yep.
It was outside. Yes, it was outside, and I believe
I was
in the
there
background.
too. Yeah.
It was just a wonderful event that was going on, and that was like the first connection with him, and from there, I believe that he just kind of remembered who I was.
No, what it was is she got there and cut up.
Okay.
She got there and cut up. She got there and clowned, and he turned around like, who is that? I remember. I was there, and he turned around and he looked at you.
I had no clue. My eyes were closed.
That's okay. That's what happened.
Where we were all just singing out loud, I think, at that moment. I had no clue he was going to do that. I was scared out of my mind.
It's on you, though.
Okay.
It was called Reverb, I think.
Yep.
I was honored, but I was still scared, and I had to take off the nerves.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, that's where the connection happened. He did remember me when we sent an invite for him to come and join me. And I think the following year is when I became a part of the crew in 2015 of Ty Tribbute's crew, and I've been rocking with him ever since.
Oh my goodness.
When I moved to Dallas, the opportunity was presented for me to go on tour with Fred Hammond for his Festival of Praise. So I was able to be a background vocalist on that and sing behind some of those wonderful artists who was on at that time. That was an amazing experience.
Name a few of those artists. Name a few.
Drop a few. No.
Okay. Well, on that round, I believe it was the first one. It was Fred. It was Donnie McClurkin. It was Israel Holton.
Yeah.
It was Hezekiah Walker. It was Jessica Reedy. It was Isaac Curry. It was Tim Burrell.
Yeah.
It was Zacardi Cortez.
And Sharon Ann.
But I had so much fun. My first tour experience. I mean, we got on the road at the end of September and off the road in the beginning of December.
Wow.
So it was a great experience. I learned a lot. Networked, got to meet some amazing people, got to serve with some amazing people. And so that was awesome. And I've really been, I started modeling somewhat in Milwaukee, and then I kind of picked it up more so here. So I think after the first year being here, I was able to work with celebrity stylist Jason Bolin, or what people call him, Jay Bolin.
Yeah.
That was a great experience. Worked with him for a while. Amazing individual, has an amazing eye for fashion. So that was dope.
And just a kind heart.
And in 2018, I came in contact with Ace Ward. He is an amazing producer and songwriter as well, who's worked with all of our favorite, the Clark sisters.
Yes.
I mean, Kim Burrell, he did Everlasting Light. That's just a staple album for me. I mean, just so many on both the secular and gospel. And we connected, and since then he has worked with me. We have an album that is completed. It's 12 songs. It's just not released yet.
I know. I was trying to get one of them songs today. That's all good. But you're going to come on back when it's completed and ready for release.
Yes, and we're going to make that happen.
Yes.
We're going to make that happen. Blessing to connect, to come and just be transparent with you guys.
Yeah.
I know we see, you know, the smiles.
Yeah.
We see all of this stuff on social media, but guys, I was literally just on the brink of
Jesus talk.
Quitting.
My
Even
goodness.
though all of those great things had happened, I was literally still discouraged.
Jesus.
Wow.
Because I felt like I didn't. Lord have mercy. I didn't have the support.
Yeah, go there.
That was needed for me and for my voice and for my creativity. There was a point where this happened before I moved, where I had to go to therapy only because I was singing one Sunday, and I guess I was just doing too much, I guess. Maybe too much yelling. But I know that at one point I had thought that being a gospel singer meant that you had to have a lot of grit and wrath.
You helping somebody.
That was gospel. And if you didn't have that, you didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think on one particular Sunday, I tried that, and I remember I thought it was just normal hoarseness. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up hoarse. But then by the end of the day, I had my voice back. But then the next day, I woke up, I was hoarse. And by the end of the evening, my voice came back. And that was the trail of events that was happening. So I realized something was wrong. I was like, oh, my God, what did I do? Did I have nodules? What's happening?
Yeah.
And I realized I could not sing above a tenor note.
What? And you a full soprano.
Yeah, full mezzo.
Listen, and it scared to death.
Wow.
And when I went to an ENT. He expressed to me what had happened. There was a swollen blood vessel on my vocal cord. And so he was telling me, you know, that I would have to have therapy for 6 months. I would have to take this medication. If it didn't work, then it would have to be surgery. And I'm just like, oh, God. It was depressing.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't sing like I wanted to sing. I could barely sing at all.
Jeez.
Nevertheless, since then, God has restored, but yet there were some things that was still troubling me. Like I said, I was just ready to just be like, I'm good. I've tried.
Right.
I've worked with some amazing people, but God, there's so many promises. There's so many things you've spoken over my life. What about me? What about this? What about that?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has had that experience.
Oh yes, listen,
Listen.
you're in the house on today. You I'm doing my Kojic rock right now.
I'm like, Lord have mercy. Like I just felt forgotten. I felt neglected. And you know, people think because you may have networked and connected with certain people that, oh, that's just it. No,
you've arrived. Yeah,
that's not just it. That doesn't mean anything. Actually, I mean, it's a blessing, but it doesn't mean that this is the end all. Like that. It's goes from 0 to 100 just like that. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it's just what it is. You just connected to them. You may have worked with them or worked for them or whatever, and that's just that. Their success is not your success.
Oh,
that's it. That's it.
And I think a lot of times
I was gonna go
the
there.
issue we have is tying our success to the success of others. And that's not something that we should assume
that's
because
not
God
God's
has
plan.
his own path for
us.
He said, I know the thoughts that I think towards you. You is that person. He didn't say it's the thoughts that I think towards them. So
everybody, right.
And you know what I'm saying? I had to get, even I'm guilty of that. Of thinking like growing up that, hey, you know, well, connecting with this person, listen, this puts me on the map. No, actually, no, that doesn't mean that. So nevertheless, I had my own journey, and I'm still on that journey. And just to get back to what I was saying, I was in a place where I was just like, I don't know about this. And I'll never forget it. And I just said, I cried. I literally probably cried about an entire month. And I said, okay, I'm going to take one last stab at this. And I just decided I'm just going to reach out to Asa. I met him in passing. I'm going to reach out, try to get in contact with this person and see what happens. And he accepted to meet with me because in my mind, I thought, well, listen, you've worked with some incredible artists. I don't know what you may even think about me if I'm even worth it. You know, these are thoughts that are entering into my mind. But nevertheless, he was so humble, so welcoming, accepted to meet with me the next day. And so
wow.
we talked, and, you know, this guy did his thing. And so here now in 2021, we're just sitting and waiting. It's such an amazing body of work. And I say that I am very proud of it because you could have told me that I would be the singer-songwriter that I am today.
Wow,
Because
that's amazing.
I told myself back then when I was growing up, in my mind at that time, I said, you know, I'll just be a worship leader at a church, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought.
That was your ceiling.
Me. I'm going to write some songs for my church and for other churches to sing, and that's it, and I'm good.
Right.
But
Your
then
plan.
the desire started to change, and the vision started to grow.
Ma'am.
And then I realized that my writing style started to change. And then I really started being very transparent, and the things that I was hearing in my mind that was coming to me, I was literally like, wow, wait a minute, these lyrics, you know what I'm saying, they have depth to them, and they come from a place of experience. And I realized that this entire album is almost equivalent to my private life and private talks with God being put on a public display. And I have been able to work with some incredible producers, including my brother, my older brother, Golden Boy Beats, a shout out to him, to D-Lar Music, who's worked with Jonathan McReynolds and so many others. I mean, Ace of did a thing. Some incredible musicians are a part of this project. And there's a song for everyone. So, at first, I was just a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, because I was like, you know, this album is not what people may expect from me. Because they really only get to see me leading worship at church and maybe on the stage with Ty or someone else that I'm backing up. But they really do not know that Sharon is versatile.
Oh, but they will know.
Okay. Music. Yes. And baby, when I tell you, as soon as you press play, you shall know.
Okay.
You shall know. But I'm so excited. I am humbled, and I'm grateful to God that He kind of took me from that place. That was a depressing state. I just wanted to get up, to give up. And He showed me that He heard me and He cared about me. And I have been through a lot, guys. You know, I'm sure we all may share some similar stories of being misused and taken advantage of. Sure. And people saying they'll work with you and not work with you. Or just wanting to use you, you know, to get what they need accomplished. And just put you on a back burner. Like us just, Lord have mercy, the stories. But nevertheless, God was like, oh, I'm going to do you one better.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Lord.
This is going to be a part of your healing.
Wow.
And I'm grateful that, you know, because everybody has their story.
Yeah.
You know, there's that show, The Unsung. People have gone through a lot behind the scenes. And listen, we are not to be fooled by the glitz and the glam because it's real out here. But I'm grateful to God, you know, for what He's done. So that's where I am musically.
Love it.
You know, fashion. I'm still doing my thing. Still singing, songwriting. Lately, I was able to vocally produce and arrange Martha Menendez.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Crispy.
And actually, it was a blessing to be able to vocally produce her album and arrange for her album. And it's the
arrangements for me, though. I said you better arrange, Sister Sharon.
Okay, because where you be hearing about women arrangers in you know, in the gospel industry? We don't know too many.
I see it.
Wow. Yeah, it was a blessing. The producer, David Allen, and the musicians, and those that accompany the singers, they're incredible. I
bet Martha Menendez is the GOAT.
To look out, you know, for definitely stream her album. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out Glorious 2.0, by all means, check it out. So yeah, that. Did I miss anything? My son will be 14 this year.
All right, baby. Woo! My goodness, time flies. I remember him when he was a little baby boy. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, he's headed into high school this year.
Jeez.
And the ministry here, God has been blessing. My family is blessed. They're alive and well. So I don't really, there's no need to complain.
Right.
God has been good.
Okay.
And I know that there are things, that the enemy can kind of set up as a mirage. Because we all have our things that we deal with and go through. He will have us focusing more on the negative than the positive. But God has been good through it all. He's been faithful, so I'm grateful.
Oh my goodness. And we are beyond grateful again to have you here. Grateful for your transparency, because that's the thing. People always like to talk about, what's going right, but like when you can kind of strip off the mask and share with us some of the intimate moments of the struggle, even that, or the wheat grows with the tear. There's opportunity and then there's opposition, all of that. And so if nothing else, I know that encourages the people to know that, as they're on their own journeys, just because it didn't work in this area or because it's taking a little longer in that area doesn't mean that the plan is done, right? There's more to come. Right. So keep getting up. And sometimes it only takes a little bit of faith, regardless of where you were, Sharon, you just still said, you know what, even if I'm feeling these things, even if I don't feel worthy, I'm still going to make the call. I'm still going to make the next step. I'm still going to do what I have to do. Even if it's not today, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and so having that plan is so amazing. And so also, this is something I didn't share, but I also wanted to honor you as one of Milwaukee's treasures. And so what that means, so what that means is I'll be celebrating 5 years this year with Saving the City radio show, and just the Saving the City community.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so what we do is we also highlight at least usually between 25 and 50 amazing folks that are either connected to Milwaukee or at some point, lived here and that have gone on to do amazing things. We like to shine light on people that we see that are making real impact. And so I also want to say that, even in those times where you felt like, okay, well, should I keep going? Like, you were making impact. Like, there were people, I can speak for myself. I've been watching you, sis. Like, I've been like, okay, look at Sharon. Okay, Brandon, you better figure it out. So I'm just saying, and those probably in some of your weakest moments, you were encouraging. I can say me. I'm just going to say that's why I'm always sharing your stuff, because I'm like, yes, if she broke through, and I know it doesn't always feel like that, but this is what success feels like. People keep thinking that it's going to feel like, I don't know, lilies and rainbows, but it feels like this. No, ma'am, and no, sir. Okay, it's grimy, it's dirty, it's painful, it's ugly and beautiful all at the same time. And so we are so honored that you're here. And so, again, tell the folks how they can get connected to you. And, of course, we're going to at least get one of them singles once it's ready to be released.
Oh, yeah. It is. And actually, speaking of that, we are projecting late spring. I am excited about this single. I kind of gave a snippet of it on my Facebook page, on my artist page, and on my IG page.
Yeah.
The name of it is called Peace Be Still. The single is ready to go. It's mixed and mastered, but I literally said, you know what, I have to have a visual that goes along with this. I just cannot just put this out by itself. I had a vision for it, and this is what needs to happen. And God made a way for it to happen. Right now, because this visual is just not a normal visual. It was an investment to the point to where they called it a mini movie. There was lots of money invested into this, and I felt that it was worth it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I felt like people will be blessed by it. Because I feel like this is a reintroduction of who Sharon Ann is.
We ready.
The EP that I released in 2014, that Sharon is not the same Sharon that's in 2021.
Okay. Come on, New.
And I said, you know what? If we're going to evolve, if we're going to take things to the next level, then let's do it.
Yes.
And that's what we did. And right now, the visual is in the end stages. Visual effects. I mean, you guys are going to really
we ready.
Be locked in. I'll say that. You're going to be locked in. I definitely took a risk with this. Well, some call it risk. And so I really wanted to jump all in with this visual, and that's what we did. And we're just waiting for them to button it up.
Okay.
Button it up. We've been waiting, and COVID, you know what I'm saying, it happened last year. We were anticipating it happening last year, but, God's timing is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's time for it to be released, it would be the time that God wanted it to be released. And that was a teaching moment for me, because at one point I was just like, oh my gosh, one thing about me is I don't like to tell people something is getting ready to happen and then it does happen.
Yeah.
But God taught me a lesson, like I control this.
Right, wow.
I
The law of
this.
detachment.
All right, so let me handle this. So nevertheless, it's in its latest stages and we are anticipating a late spring release. So you can follow me to keep up with the, the updates. Facebook, Sharon Ann, or at Ms. Sharon Ann, MZSHARONANN. On Instagram, Ms. Sharon Ann, same thing. And Instagram, Ms. Sharon Ann. So that's an MZ and Sharon Ann. You can also visit my website at SharonAnnMusic.com. And I do have some things on there. Some videos. I did release for Christmas. I did a Christmas mashup.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which was
your drummer boy video. I was like, yes.
Okay. Thank you. So that's some things for people to kind of just look at, listen to. But you can definitely stay up to date with what I'm doing next by following me at those handles.
Love it. Oh my goodness. And we'll make sure that we post it on our social media pages as well so people can just click and follow and do what they have to do. Well, Sharon, my goodness, it has been an absolute pleasure catching up with you. The one thing is to see each other on social media, but then to actually get to talk to you has been absolutely amazing. Stay connected. And again, we completely support you here. We see you here at Saved in the City radio show. Anytime you want to come back, there is an open door. I love you, sis, and we will talk soon.
Love you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Talk
Okay.
soon. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Right.
And we'll be right back after this. Thanks for watching or tuning in to Saved in the City radio show. to the Saving the City radio show right here on WGLB 1560 96.1 FM. And my goodness, what an amazing chat with the amazing Sharon Ann. Such a humble spirit, y'all. But I'm telling you, if you haven't heard of her, go to our page. You know, we're going to post some things about her, and I'm telling you, you're going to be floored. This girl is a drummer. She's a singer. She's a keyboard player. She's everything. You know, just such an amazing vessel. And so I'm so excited and just grateful, you know, to have had her on the show. And so, you know, we wish you well, Sharon, and looking forward to much more to come. And so now we're going to jump into our top 5 you doing too much moments of the week, because we couldn't let you scoot out of here and not get your dose for the week. You know, it's necessary. You know, some of you are like, I don't know what to do next week because I might do too much. And so this is why.
We got you.
This is why we got you. Exactly. So let's jump in. We're going to try to move as quick as we can through these. Number 5 on your top 5 you doing too much moments of the week is Women of War. And so it's a flyer that has been circulating around social media. I actually saw it a little while ago, and I was like, do I want to post it? You know, and I was like, you know, I don't know if it's the folks that they put on the flyer that's doing too much, or is it whoever created the flyer. And so basically it says Women of War. It's a women's conference 2021. It's coming up, y'all, May 25th through the 30th at 7 p.m. nightly. But listen, this is
hosted by.
So here's the joke. Yeah, who is it hosted by? Do you see it? Lord have mercy, them.
I'm looking
okay.
At the top
it says it's the Morning Glory Fellowship of Churches, and so here's the gag. Yeah. So the Women of War aren't actually women. So it is literally, it's I don't know, I guess I don't even know if it's transsexual or transgender people.
Wait, do you think so?
No, not transgender. What's the word? Like the
gay.
Well, some of them is gay, but the other people are. But what's this?
You talking about the left?
You wouldn't. They dress up. They just dress up as women.
Who look like that? The 2 people in the top?
No. Oh my God! So
because this is the apostle and first gentleman over on the right.
Bless their hearts, Father.
And then the 2 on the left just look like mother and mother.
Mother and mother.
Yeah, I don't think they're a couple. They look like women. No.
They not. Yeah, they look like women, but you know what I mean. They call the drag queen, like drag. You know, you got different kinds. You got ones that like the drag.
So you think this is men dressed up as drag in church hats, mother hats?
This is all men.
No, it's not.
This is the gag.
No, they're not.
They're men. This is the gag. Like, that's the fun. That's what makes it funny, because it's Women of War.
They're all men.
They're all men. So I'm sorry, WGLB listeners.
No way.
WGLB listeners, you gotta go to our Facebook page so you can see what we're looking at here.
Dressed like a church mother.
First of all,
who aspires to be a church mother?
Maybe Andrew Caldwell.
Touche.
Baby, he would have the hat on, and he would. Okay. So that's the thing. So yes, there are a couple gay males on here, but yes, everybody. So the gag is that it says the Women of War, but it's all men on here, and it's just like, people. Yeah, I think it was Larry Reed that shared it the first time I saw it, and so they were like, "Wow, what have we gotten into?" But I really don't feel like this flyer is real. Like, it can't be. I hope it's not. But it's coming up, and I just might show up, okay? Because I just want to see. So, yeah. So, I'm going to say, I don't know if the person who made the flyer is doing too much, or if the folk own the thing. Maybe they
everybody involved.
Everybody involved.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Everybody involved, and we're moving. All right. So, number 5, Women of War. Y'all doing too much. What is this? What is that? Okay, yes. What is this? Okay, number 3 or number 4. I'm just gonna skip 4. No. So number 4, we won't stay on it long. But the only reason why it came up, listen, I don't want to keep bringing it up.
You do, though.
Well, I do, because it keeps popping up. Let me say, okay, this is why. This is the only reason why it popped up. So number 4 is called pronouns, right? And so, we're living in a time right now where people like to be addressed by their whatever pronoun that they identify with. Mm-hmm. So I could be, born a she, but identify as male, and so I would want you to call me he. So this is why it keeps coming up, because it's in our face all the time. And I really do want to address some of the things, you know, and the reason, so this is why it came up this time for me. Because I was watching, what do you call it? It's one of my favorite shows. This Is Us.
Yeah.
And so
I fell out of it.
It's good. It's good.
It was very good. It was a lot.
It's a lot. Every time, like every episode, I'm gonna cry
like a whole
heaven
bunch
out.
of seasons. I couldn't keep up.
Yes, it's a lot, and then you don't know what's happening when. But anyway, last night I was catching up on one of the episodes, and so Randall's daughter, one of his daughters is gay, and so
This
or at
the
least
black dude.
Yeah, Randall is the black dude, and so but anyway, so she's now in a relationship with a girl. But the girl wants to be referred to as they.
Ooh.
And so the mom is like, "Oh, you going
they
over?"
Because she identifies as man and woman.
Baby, I don't.
No, I'm saying that's what it is.
Yeah, well, that would
That's
probably
what
be.
it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. They.
And I want you to acknowledge both people that I am. That's what people. That's why they go with they. I had a coworker, and that's what they did.
It sound real Legion to
It
me.
sounds like I remember a Bible story that
like,
talked about this.
It sound real Legion to me, and so Spirit, you want us to you want to. That's my problem, and I'm not. So school, you listen. The one thing I can say about the Saved in the City radio show, or any table where I'm sitting down, I welcome people who want to come and talk about it, who want to school us, want to educate us on something different. I'm not saying I'm gonna believe different, but I'm not saying that I'm not open to hearing, and who knows. But that's the part. I'm like, why are we trying to make that so? And so Claire Huxtable, what's her real name? Felicia Rashad. She won't want to be Claire Huxtable. Felicia Rashad plays Randall's wife's mother, and so so she was on the show, and Randall's wife was having a hard time understanding these pronouns, and Felicia Rashad was like, you know, we're making it real difficult, but it's really not. We always say that anyway. I'm going over their house. And I was like, it could be one. And she was like, it could be one person over there. She'd be like, I'm going over their house. And I'm like,
but it's not that easy, because with the coworker,
I was like, wow. That's what they say. They're trying to make it. It's like, oh, it's nothing. We do say that.
No, it's hard. And they corrected me when I worked at my other job, because we'll just be like, is she here today? They'd be like, they. So I would have to say, is they here today?
Are they?
Yeah, exactly. Just everything. It's just a lot.
Are they here today?
Instead of is she here? Ooh. Are they here today?
And I had a conversation with a person who was very clearly male, and did not want to be referred to as she, and does not dress like a woman. So that's where it gets. That's the complication of it.
I would say, so you're trapped into offending anyone at this point. Like,
it's just a lot.
Wow. Like
that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying so, and the thing is, when you have these type of discussions, people automatically think hate. Phobia. And it's not that. It's like this is not. I think I put this quote up. Just because I disagree doesn't mean I hate.
Come on.
You know, because I don't understand. It's just, it seems difficult to me. But again, you know, some people will say that that it is difficult, because if that was the case, then why would they choose to walk this difficult path? Right. I don't know. So the pronoun, I don't know. It feels like too much to me.
It's too much for me, only because and there's a percentage of people who, after a certain age, switch back. The fact that you are able to switch kind of infuriates me a little. Only because, I can walk into a room, I'm Black Steve,
can't
wherever.
Switch that.
You Black Steve, wherever you go.
Big black dude. Like, I might can change the big, but I can't change the dark black. So I can't be like, I'd rather be
identify as white. Okay?
Identify as white.
Address me as a white man.
I identify as a Campbell. I mean, let's just go all out. What the heck? I mean, what is it? It's confusing to me. I think for me, like, regardless of all the other stuff, it's the they. That at least that's what stood out to me. I'm like, they? Like, that's just a lot.
Because some days I want to be man, some days I want to be woman. But you're going to address me as both, depending on which one I'm thinking I am today.
I'm just saying. It's a little much for me. It's a little much for me. So, okay, and we're moving. Number 3. Oh, goodness, time is flying. Number 3, modern day blackface. Talk about it, Timothy Boone.
This is the makeup thing.
Yes.
And I just don't.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, no, I watched it just till they pulled it off. Was it anything
Well, no, that
more?
was it. That was
So
enough.
apparently, I don't know if this is on a set or what was the reason for it, but there's this woman. She looks like a black woman. Makeup is done.
But you
very
know what? That's
pretty.
why I praise God for my discernment, because I said something ain't right.
Something ain't right. You could tell in like the
something
lip
ain't right
area.
in the eyes. It was like.
So
That
it
is
was
so
it was
interesting.
makeup, but it turned out to not be makeup. It was like some kind of contraption. They peeled it off, and it was a white woman under like this whole made up black woman's face.
So forget
and I mean, she had
blackface.
nappy hair.
Baby,
everything.
it was black head. It was like the whole
black
head.
Yeah, and I just was like, even if we were celebrating like black women, you didn't have to do that. You just get a black woman for the job. You know what I mean? If it was like some kind of creative photo shoot and they were trying to celebrate black people, get a black woman. I just couldn't come up with a reason on why we would have to do it.
You saw that? And the face sitting on on the
Yes,
side.
Yes.
It was
I
so
was offended
creepy.
by that.
You know the other part what it really made me think about was how, Jordan Peele's movies sometimes seem a bit unrealistic. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Because he's kind of into that like race thing, but it's also like sci-fi.
It is. But when I saw that, I was like,
This is what.
this is it.
Yeah.
Like when you think about not Us, but the other one.
Lovecraft Country, the one.
No,
on
that's
HBO?
a good one
Get
too. Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Get out.
Get Out, where it was literally the white people that were taking wanted
black people bodies. Yeah.
I was like, no.
They
As I was
wanted our
watching the thing,
strength, and they wanted
everything that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really like just appropriation to the millionth power in that particular movie.
Like
But-
so bad.
And she
made
was
a whole
smiling
black
and
face.
so happy, and she was proud of it.
That's the part. But so I know you were trying to figure out, like, first of all, I just felt like it was too much. But I was thinking it could be for like a film like that. Like it could, like, I could see Jordan Peele doing that. You know
that
what I
is
mean?
very like movie set
It was
makeup.
very serious.
extensive.
But I would, maybe we do need to do research to figure out what the backstory of that is to see if we should be mad or not. But you know what? A side note, before we started a little later, so I guess we can go a little bit. But there was, like, back in the day, it wasn't so offensive to have people in not just straight out blackface, but I'm just thinking about movies that I used to love, and I can't remember what this movie was, but this man was dressed as a black man the whole time, and I loved that movie.
Watermelon Man,
It might have been Watermelon
where
Man.
the guy wanted to get the black scholarship.
I might have been that.
I forgot, it's another name of the movie. But
And
yeah,
there's
he had
something.
a fro and
Yes.
Soul Man?
Huh? What'd you say?
Soul Man.
Soul Man. It might be Soul Man. But anyway, it was a thing back in the day where it was like people did that.
Well, I think that's because they didn't hire black people, right? No?
No, it wasn't that
that
far
movie was
back.
to make fun of it. That movie was to make fun of it.
Right, but anyway, so I'm just saying, but now it's like everything is.
I think we're just more liberal and speaking out on stuff.
Yeah.
Than I think we used to be a little passive on stuff that kind of bothered us.
And we didn't have social media like this.
Yeah.
Where we see it all like it's right in your face.
In
It would be
your
a
face.
movie. I might see that movie. I may not see that movie. So I'm not reminded that somebody did
Right.
something real stupid. You know what I mean? So anyhow, modern day blackface, stop it. Just stop it. Just leave the blackface
so
alone,
irritated
period.
with that.
Okay, number 4 on our top 5 You Doing Too Much Moments of the Week list.
Not
I'm
4,
calling,
right?
I'm calling it. Or number 2. Sorry, you're
I'm
right.
gonna
Thank
say
you.
we should be deeper.
Yes, number 2. I'm calling it surgery stupidity, or maybe I should call it surgeon stupidity. And so this story is based around a surgeon. I think we have a video that might be showing. But anyway, there's a surgeon that had some kind of a court case or something where he had to dial in on Zoom. And there's the court, the judge.
Mm-hmm.
There's also another person on the line too, and then it is the surgeon. And I'm saying the surgeon. The only reason why we know his profession is because he's literally in the surgical room doing surgery on a body, and the judge is like listening to whatever the dude is saying, and he's like looking down, and like you can hear like the little clanging of the little surgical tools, and he's like, well, no, I'm pretty much like, no, I can multitask, and the judge is like, sir. Like, I'm not comfortable. Like, is this even ethical?
Right.
Like, you know what? You're just guilty because you did this.
Yeah.
So whatever
I mean,
the
I
thing
think it is some kind of violation of a HIPAA law. You know, like
it
a privacy
probably
or something.
is. It just was. It was horrible. So that surgeon was absolutely doing too much, and we're gonna keep moving just to make sure we hit not too far after the 8:00 hour. Number 1 on your top 5 You Doing Too Much Moments of the Week. I'm calling it a negative stimulus.
This is so sad.
Yeah, it is very sad. And so the reason why I'm saying that is because everybody's so excited about the stimmy. Everybody excited about the stimulus check. Let me get my stim. And then there's okay? So that's how they feel. And people are losing their everlasting mind.
Yes.
Just like they did over the Popeye chicken sandwiches in full fight.
I'm still not over that.
I'm not over it.
You know what scares me is that, let's say, how many ever years down the line where we actually get our reparations, like our 40, acres and a mule. But like if we did, just imagine how people are tripping out over this. Ooh. If we got all of that, people wouldn't know how to act.
That's why they ain't getting it. But that's what we build your own. Oh my goodness. And so anyway, it says, say what now? Here's the thing. So this is the serious tip. 4 murdered, y'all.
Yes.
Including a child.
Oh, I didn't know a child.
Following argument over a stimulus check. And look at the people.
But what's to argue about? Don't everybody get their own?
Baby, I don't even know. Why does second dude look like a little superhero?
Unless there were kids involved and you have to split it. Like, you finna give me half because that's my child too, kind of situation.
There you go. Yeah.
That's too much. Wow.
That is sad. Like,
it's not that deep.
And here's the other part. It's only $1,400, people. I know. Listen, $1,400 would bless my life. Okay, I'm not even downplaying it. Actually, on a side note, on a little bit of a lighter note, there was
look weird.
I know he do look a little strange. But on a little bit of a lighter note, some of these stimulus memes have been quite hilarious because there was this one that I saw that said they said stimulus check hits me at SeaWorld. How much for their freedom? Okay. I was like, that would be me.
Listen, somebody said at the Miller Stadium, like, change the name back. Okay.
Okay, because I'm not calling it whatever you've called it now. Was it Johnson and
American Family? Change the name back.
Family.
And insurance. But anyhow, y'all, like, calm down over this money. And I don't know, again, I don't know the exact, like you said, we trying to figure out why did anybody die?
But what he said makes sense. You do get extra for having kids.
So they get it.
So if that's my child and you the mama.
Right.
And because it
Baby,
got
love
to go
a
to
handout. Y'all, listen, black people, with the handouts.
Right, especially if you ain't even been in a child's life, you ain't did nothing all this year. I'm not splitting this with you.
Just like you claimed it on taxes last year, so actually
it's my turn, right? Yeah, no, it's
my I mean, honestly, I will be very happy if and when I ever get a stimulus check because I haven't gotten one yet.
Oh,
I ain't get the 600.
None?
No, well, I did. One that was the first one. Yep, that was mailed to me, and I was like, bless
it's
the
coming
Lord.
on your taxes.
Yeah, which I just need to file a SAP.
Same, Lord.
But the thing is, the issue that I really have is just like, y'all, like, I know we want the government to give us stuff, but just listen, just relax. Just relax.
Act like you ain't never had no money.
What? I ain't never. Right, that's the. Thank you for saying that, DJ Lee, because that's the part. People are acting like they never had anything. Like, okay.
I mean, most people don't get $1,000 at one time.
I guess you know
$1,000 that you don't have to pay back. You know what I mean? If people are getting $1,000, $1,400 at a time, it's usually a loan.
Wow.
The average person. So if I'm getting it all think about stimulus and taxes and pay all this money I don't got to pay back, money I ain't have to do nothing for.
I don't know.
Child, I'm telling people are in the mall.
This is why they killing people.
Crazy. Yeah.
And so that's your top 5. You doing too much moment of the week because I felt myself starting to get a little upset. All right, number 5, women of war. Number 4, pronouns. Okay, woo, she, he, they. Number 3, modern day blackface. Please stop. Number 2, surgeon stupidity. My God, sir, maybe you need another profession. Okay. Right. And number 1, negative stimulus. Like, yeah, let's change our energy on that one. And so before we end the show, we have our normal kingdom solution where we try to wrap everything back up. I'm gonna talk to Steven. You got something?
Oh yeah.
Okay, come on with it.
Luke chapter 15, verse 24. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.
Wow.
And they began to be merry. And I know the theme was not being lost.
Yes.
And I mean, it's that joy when you find stuff. Like, sometimes you have to be reminded how wealthy or worthy something is. And the only way you know is if you lose it.
Wow.
I remember when the lady was talking earlier when she lost her voice for a period of time.
Oh, that's good.
It's like, but when she got it back, you learned to utilize it like forcefully, like to get connected with other people. I got God with me.
Yeah,
and that's the attitude we gotta have. Like, I'm not lost.
Wow, I'm not lost. It's not lost.
It's not
you know,
lost.
and when it comes back, it may come back to you. And you have another appreciation for it that you didn't have before. I think that's absolutely amazing. This is why I love the Saved in the City radio show crew. They know how to pick it up when I put it down, okay? I love it, and I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next Friday and every Friday right here on WGLB 1560, 96.1 FM, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll see you next week.